Welcome back to Movie Moshow. Today we are going to review the horror, thriller film, Hellfest. If you like our content, don't forget to like and subscribe. We upload multiple times daily. Spoilers ahead. In Orange Grove, the movie begins in a theme park with a horror theme. One of the girls wanders off from her pals as the three of them tour a spooky mansion. A masked man approaches her and begins humming as he creeps menacingly closer to her. The girl is stabbed in the stomach before being dragged and hanged. Due to people's misconception that she was a prop, her body wasn't discovered for several days. After 3 years, Natalie, Amy Forsyth, a college student, is dropped off at the house of Brooke, Rain Edwards, her best friend. Natalie is annoyed to see her annoying classmate Taylor, Bex Taylor Klaus, there because she often teases Natalie. Gavin, Roby et al., a man Brooke likes, will be joining them, she tells Natalie. The girls go to Hellfest, a brand new theme park with a horror theme, where they meet Gavin, Brooke's boyfriend Quinn, Christian James, and Taylor's boyfriend Asher, Matt Mercurio. To acquire some nice scares, the group walks around the park. The earlier murderer is still at large and has put on a new mask. The girls pass by a ghostly reform school when Brittany, Courtney Dietz, dashes inside screaming that someone is chasing her. When the killer walks in, the girls mistake him for a park performer. He rushes to retrieve the Brittany after Natalie tells him where she is. As Brittany begs for her life, the murderer holds a knife over her. Insisting that it is still a necessary part of the act, Natalie advises him to carry it out, and the killer fatally stabs Brittany. Uneasy, Natalie rejoins Brooke and Taylor outdoors where they witness an actor playfully stabbing a customer, leading Natalie to believe it was all staged. Gavin and Natalie get in the photo booth together, and they take a few pictures, but the killer appears and steals the pictures before they can see them. Brooke yells at him and chases the murderer, but she loses track of him and panics. Gavin departs from the gang as they prepare to board a ride in order to steal a plush animal for Natalie. Gavin tries to buy a doll at the gaming stand from a man, but the man declines to give it to Gavin. He then goes to the locker room to look for a doll, but the killer also ends up finding him there. He trips Gavin and hits him twice in the throat with a mallet before bringing it down and slamming his skull. After that, the murderer uses Gavin's phone to reply to Natalie's text. While the couples travel together, Natalie rides by herself. When the vehicle breaks down, she witnesses what appears to be the murderer approaching her. When the cart moves away, Natalie discovers that more men wearing the same mask as the killer are standing all around her. She steps outside with trepidation and believes her paranoia has been confirmed. The group continues to move because they still think Gavin is away winning something. Quinn and Asher enter a haunted house through the spookiest room, while the females enter through the safest one. When Asher and Quinn become separated, the murderer locates him and injects a needle into his eye to kill him. When Natalie texts Gavin from the restroom, she discovers that the murderer is also present. He is recognized by her thanks to a tear in his boot. He tries to open the stall door with a hammer, but Natalie hides below to escape. Brooke and a security guard accompany her, but they are unsuccessful in tracking out the murderer. When Brooke later views the photos from the photo booth, she realizes the murderer was present. The rest of the gang then congregates to see Taylor rise to offer to perform a short concert. Unfortunately, the person who is supposed to execute her is the murderer. Natalie tries to escape the guillotine to rescue Taylor from being executed, but security stops her. The guillotine descends when the murderer pulls the lever, but a phony head escapes. Taylor begs the murderer to let her free after the performance, but he simply tightens her straps and holds her against the guillotine in an attempt to actually decapitate her. Only the back of her neck is sliced when the blade descends. Taylor frees herself and bolts outside as the murderer tries to adjust the lever. Taylor cries out for aid and goes toward the group, but the assailant follows her and stabs her to death in front of the other customers, followed by Quinn when he runs after them but also killing him. The customers run away in panic when they discover he is a genuine killer. To get away from the killer, Natalie and Brooke enter another haunted mansion. Natalie notices that the bottom-mounted green lasers are what's causing the frights. When the killer discovers them, he grabs an axe and slices Brooke's leg, but they manage to escape. When they spot a good chance to strike back, they hide among a collection of sculptures wearing masks. From behind a wall, Natalie emerges and stabs the murderer. When she and Brooke see the police coming in, they quickly leave. The murderer has fled by the time they reach the back. The police were unable to locate him, the officer informs Natalie and Brooke. The murderer can then be seen returning to his house. He goes to his shed, where he stores the images of Natalie and Gavin along with other masks he has worn in the past. He then enters a living room where a little girl is dozing off. She wakes up, introduces the murderer to him as her father, and he gives her one of the park's plush animals. Thank you for watching and don't forget to like and subscribe.